Dorian? Dorian? What is it? Whatever it is, it's okay.
Hey, bro, it's me. Gonna invite me in?
RJ?
You remember my name, at least. That's a good sign.
Look, I don't know what possessed you to knock on my door. Oh, but that was a wrong move.
Look, Hank,
I don't want to hear it. Now, we said everything we have to say a long time ago. I don't want you near me. And I definitely don't want you bothering my family. You got that?
Daddy, what's wrong? Uncle RJ?
Uncle? How does she know you're my brother? All right, what's going on here?
Marty.
Hi, listen, I'm sorry I didn't call before I came by, but this needs to be done right away.
What is it?
Since Todd's committed rape again, I figured it's time I do something about it. So I've started a petition asking the governor to revoke the conditional pardon and send Todd back to prison. Will you sign it, Rebecca?
Have you guys heard yet?
What?
The latest on this Todd Manning thing?
Oh, don't even talk to me about him.
No, they decided to suspend him from his job here.
Well, the police haven't arrested him yet, though, have they?
No, but come on. Everyone knows he's the one that raped Alice Henson. I mean, let's face it. God, I feel better with that guy going. I know.
Although the police have yet to charge Manning, much of the evidence seems to suggest that the convicted rapist may have raped again. Can you believe that? I mean, he seemed to be coming along so well in our sessions.
I believe it.
You know, I just don't understand. I used to think Todd was the coolest, smartest guy, but how smart can a guy be if he just keeps blowing chance after chance like that?
I hope they nail him this time. Thanks to him, I had the cops all over me the other day.
Yeah, me too, asking me stupid questions. Oh, don't stop on my account, fellas. What's the matter? You can't talk about me to my face?
Hey, it's no big deal. We were just wondering how anybody could be stupid enough to do what you did. Why'd you do it, Todd? Why'd you rape that nurse, huh? Look, why did you do it? It's a simple question, man.
I'm warning you, Zach. Lay off.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna be...
Okay, enough.
We're just having a chat.
Well, it's over. Sit down, both of you. Glad you're here, Todd.
Now, why wouldn't I be here? Nothing's changed. I haven't done anything.
Well, now that we're all here, why don't we just get started, okay?
Wait a minute, where's Sheila?
I'll be running the group by myself tonight.
That doesn't answer his question. Where is she? It's not like Sheila to blow us off.
Well, she's not blowing you off. There are reasons, professional reasons for her not being
Yeah,
here.
professional reasons. She thinks I raped Alice Henson. She doesn't want to look me in the eye. No, right.
Todd, listen, this is...
To what, more bull? Come on. This is a therapy session, right? Let's try a little honesty here. Everybody here thinks I'm guilty. Zach said it. We all know how Powell feels about me. And no matter what you say, I think you believe I did it, Ray.
Todd.
But who cares? You hear that? Who cares? Doesn't matter what anybody thinks anymore. Because one person believes in me. The one person that counts. And she told me so herself.
We, the undersigned, believe Todd Manning represents a continuing danger to our community. His actions have clearly violated the terms of his conditional pardon. We therefore urge that the pardon be revoked and that he be returned to Statesville Prison immediately to resume his sentence. It's a strong statement.
Has to be. To make the governor listen.
Now, Marty, the police are investigating.
I know. And they don't have the proof they need to arrest Todd. But while they're out there searching for that evidence, I can't just sit around and wait and see what he's going to do next, who he's going to hurt next. Well, I already helped get him suspended from his job at the hospital.
Yes, I heard.
I also helped get him evicted from his place above Rhodey's.
I didn't know about that.
People should not have to live in fear of him. Rebecca, if he's back in prison, they won't. What do you say? Will you sign it?
Marty, you could probably fill that petition with 100 names besides mine. Why did you make a special trip to see me?
Because your name counts more than any other. Face it, Rebecca, you're the one who's most responsible for Todd being released from prison.
Wait, now, it took more than one person to convince the governor. There was CJ and Sarah. There were thousands of
I was
signatures.
there. I saw what happened. They were going to send Todd back to prison until you came in there and practically begged for him to have a second chance. If the governor sees your name on that petition and realizes that even you've changed your mind, it might make all the difference. Rebecca, after the hearing, you told me something that I've never forgotten.
What?
You said that if Todd did this again, you'd take responsibility. Well, now it's happened. Don't you think it's time you just admitted you made a mistake, that you were wrong about Todd?
No, Marty, you're wrong.
How can you say that after this has happened again?
No, that's just it. He didn't do anything. He didn't rape that girl.
How do you know that?
Because he told me.
All right, what's going on here? How do you know RJ?
It's kind of hard to explain.
Well, you'd better do some explaining, and fast.
Hey, man, chill. It's not Rachel's fault. I kind of put her in a tough spot.
Oh, I don't have a problem with the fact that this is your fault. What I want to know is...
Daddy, please, can we just do this inside and a little quieter?
Get in here.
All right, talk. Hey, here's the thing. I told Rachel who I was. She had no say in the matter.
And when was this?
A few weeks ago, that's all.
A few weeks ago? You've known he's been in town for weeks, and you never said anything to me?
Well, it's not that simple.
Well, it seems pretty simple to me. You knew he was in town, but you kept it from me. Now, why would you do that, Rachel?
Because I asked her to.
You asked my daughter to lie to me? Oh, RJ, you never change, do you?
Come on, Hank. I didn't come here to cause problems. I didn't want to let you know I was in town until I was ready to do it the right way. I mean, Rachel never liked the idea of keeping it a secret from you. She was against it from the beginning. That's why I decided to come here tonight, to get it all out in the open.
I'm glad you did.
This is one real special daughter you got here, Hank.
Is that what you came here to tell me?
Hank, I don't blame you for being mad at me for this thing with Rachel, or for 1,000 other things that happened between us, most of which were probably my fault. Okay, Hank, they were all my fault. But I just want to put that bad stuff behind us. I've been on my own for too long, man. I just want my family back. Come on, Hank, what do you say? Are you ready to give your little brother another chance?
Hank, what's going on?
Jimmy Glover, what are you doing here?
You okay? Anything I can do for you? Can I get you something?
No, thank you. I'm fine.
You don't sound fine.
I mean, if you need to talk, I'm a great listener.
There's nothing to talk about. Really, I just had a little argument with Cassie.
I don't mean to butt in, but it sounds like there's more to this than a little argument.
It's just that ever since that awful trial, it seems to me that everybody looks at me differently, treats me differently. Even my own daughter.
They found you innocent.
Yes, in the eyes of the law. But in the eyes of the world, my family, my daughter. I mean, that trial dragged me through the mud for months and months. I don't think anybody will ever look at me the same way ever again. Especially not the people that I really love. Especially not them.
You know, I know it may seem that way sometimes, but I think you're wrong.
Joey, I know you're trying to help, but I don't want to talk about this anymore. Okay. So what brings you back here? I thought that you had reading to do for a class.
Yeah, I do. Kind of hard to do your reading when you don't have any books.
You left your books here?
Yeah.
You did? Joe?
Have you eaten yet?
No. Why?
Well, to be honest, I find it really tough to study on an empty stomach. Now, I could go straight home and whip myself up some pasta, but it's kind of depressing to cook for one. So, if you are willing to lend me your kitchen, I could make that Italian dinner you were talking about.
Oh, that is so sweet of you. But you have reading to do, and it's freshman year, fall term. You don't want to get off to a bad start. It's getting late, Joe.
I know a recipe for pasta primavera. It takes 20 minutes tops. As a matter of fact, you cook half of it right while it's on the table. Now, I guarantee you every ingredient I need is right in that kitchen. That and a little insalata caprese.
Oh, you make it sound very tempting. But really, I don't want to be the reason that you fall behind in your schoolwork.
I will get it done. If not tonight, then tomorrow morning. Now, what do you say? Little pasta primavera per due? See?
See.
Artistica. Okay, maestro's on his way to the kitchen. You sit right tight, right there. Don't move.
What did you just call this man?
Maybe I better...
Maybe you just better be quiet. Now, Sheila, what did you say his name was?
Jimmy Glover. But I didn't know you knew each other.
Oh, yeah. I know him. His name is R.J. Gannon.
My God. This is your brother?
Hank, how about I explain?
Hey, I think you said enough. You want to tell me how you come to know Mr. Glover?
It was at the hospital a while ago. He came in asking about a flu shot, said his name was Jimmy Glover, that he was new in town. We ran into each other by accident. At least I thought it was an accident. A few more times at Rhodey's.
All right, R.J. You want to explain so badly. Start explaining.
Okay, I admit I wasn't straight with Sheila about who I was. I heard some guy use the name in a bar, and I just borrowed it. In fact, I pulled the same thing with Rachel at first. It took me a little while to get my nerve up to tell her that I was her Uncle R.J., the rotten apple she's heard so much about.
Yo, look, I know you lied. I want to know what you're up to.
I'm not up to anything. Not the way you mean. Look, I just wanted to find out a little bit about the life you were leading here in Landview before I popped into it. I knew when you saw me that you'd probably, react exactly like you're acting now. So I thought I could smooth things over a little if I got to know Rachel and Sheila first.
You couldn't get to know them by being straight with them?
Who are you kidding, Hank? If I told them who I was, they'd have gone to you and told you I was in town. And I didn't want that. I needed time.
For what?
When I saw you again, after so long, I wanted to be the kind of brother you could at least accept. I wanted to have a job to show you I'd changed. I was going to live a straight life.
That's it. End of story?
End of everything. Look, Sheila, I didn't want to play games with anybody's head. I just hope you can believe that.
It's just a lot to digest right now.
Hank, this is exactly the way I didn't want to start things off. You on my case standing there looking at me the way you're looking at me now. That's why I did what I thought I had to do. So come on. Can't we just forget how we got here? Shake hands, say hello? Come on, Hank, I just want to start everything over again. How about it?
You are real good. I'll give you that.
What do you mean?
You know exactly what I mean. Quite an actor, RJ. I'm sure Rachel and Sheila are very impressed, but I'm not.
Hey.
Hey, save it. Now, I've seen your whole bag of tricks. And this stuff about your prayers for a happy reunion is just one more song and dance. Well, news flash, little brother. I will never believe a word you say. Never.
Daddy, please, you aren't giving him a chance. He means what he says about...
Hey, so all of a sudden you're an expert on your Uncle RJ after a few weeks?
Look, I have been getting to know him.
Yeah, and I've been getting to know him all my life. And no matter what he says, or how much he claims he has changed, he is still a liar. Come on, for God's sake. Look at the way he just slid into town, huh? Doesn't that tell you something? Well, it tells me that he's still the same old RJ. And now I'm going to tell you something. Get out of my apartment. In fact, get out of this town. I never want to see your face again. Do you hear me?
I hear you. Whether Hank wants to believe it or not, I have changed. Even if he hasn't.
Man, I can't believe you had the nerve to
I
come
can't
here.
believe you did that to him. How dare you, Daddy? He is your brother.
See, Marty, I had to find out the truth for myself. So I went to him. I made him look at me. I made him face me and tell me the truth. See, I know him too well. He can't lie to me.
And he told you he didn't do it. What a shock.
Marty, it wasn't just what he said. It was the way he said it. There's no way he could have been lying. I know that's hard for you to believe, but if you could have seen the look in his eyes.
Oh, this is pathetic. You know, I can understand if the guy lies to you once and you buy it, but how many times is this going to happen?
I'm telling you, he wasn't lying.
Oh, fine, fine. You know, you probably really do believe that. In fact, I think you need to. Because if you admitted to the truth that Todd did rape again, you'd have to face your own guilt with this. You'd have to deal with the fact that you were responsible for setting a rapist free so that he could rape again.
Marty, you know, you're so sure you know exactly what I'm thinking, what my motives are. Well, what about your motives?
All I want is to see that he gets what he deserves.
Really? Are you going after Todd because of what you claim he did to that nurse? Or is this about what he did to you?
Now, of course, the rape that occurred at the hospital is on everybody's mind. But instead of being Sherlock Holmes and trying to figure out who did it, I want you guys to do something else. I want you for a second to forget about the rapist and think about the victim. I want you to put yourselves in Alice Henson's shoes. What do you think she went through? How do you think it felt to be raped.
It must have been horrible. I mean, rape's a brutal, violent crime. It was probably her worst nightmare come true.
Horrible in what ways, Zach? I mean, what do you think was actually going through Alice's mind? What kinds of emotions do you think a person goes through when she's going through something like that?
That's hard to say. I don't...
Does anybody want to help Zach out? Powell, how about you? Powell.
Sorry, I was thinking about something else.
Well, you want to share it with the rest of us? All right, then let's move on.
No, wait. I don't want to move on until we get this out in the open. All right, Todd. Let's hear it.
Hear what, Powell?
You know what I'm talking about. This person who supposedly believes in you. Who is it?
Well, you know who that is. That's why you're sitting there sweating bullets. You know it's Rebecca.
It's a lie.
Go ahead, ask her.
I don't have to ask her. I know she couldn't have told you that because you haven't seen her since that nurse was raped.
Well, that's where you're wrong. I saw her just a little while ago, when she came to me. That's right, see ya. Rebecca paid me a visit. She came to see me in my room.
Let it go. Let's just get back to...
No, I don't want to let it go, Ray. I want to hear Todd's story. Because that's what it is. Story. Fairy tale.
Well, you can keep telling yourself it's a lie if that makes you feel better, pal. But the fact is, a little while ago, Rebecca came to see me in my room.
Oh, really? Why? What for?
Well, just like everyone else. She wondered if I'd raped that nurse. But unlike everyone else, all she needed was one little thing to believe that I'm innocent. My word. She asked me if I did it, and I told her I didn't, and she believed me.
It's bull.
You know, Todd, if I'm ever selling swampland in New Jersey, you got to remind me to give Rebecca a call, man.
You can think whatever you want, Zach. I'm not snowing her, not this time. I couldn't lie to Rebecca now, even if I wanted to. See, there's a bond between us, and it's so real and so deep. And I never felt anything like it. And I don't think she has either.
Yeah, right. Keep fooling yourself.
Who's fooling who? Deep down, you know you can't even touch what Rebecca and I feel for each other. I love her. And you know what? I think she loves me, too.
You are crazy.
When are you gonna face it, Bauer?
When are you gonna face it? She's marrying me. She doesn't love you.
Actually, I think she does.
Oh, I suppose she told you that, too.
No, she didn't have to tell me. I felt it. The other day, when we were by the student union, when she kissed me.
Liar! Cool it! Liar! Cool it! Cool it! Liar! Cool it!
You know that I'm not lying. You can kick and fuss and scream all you want. Deep down, you know just as well as I do. Rebecca loves me.
Now, Rachel, listen to me.
Why? You don't listen to anyone, not even your own brother.
Look, we can talk about this if you just calm down.
I can't calm down, not after what went on. Daddy, your brother comes to you, and he practically begs you for a second chance. And you treat him like garbage.
Baby, that's just the way you saw it.
No, that's the way it was. Okay, maybe RJ should have gone straight to you first when he came to town, but after what happened here tonight, I understand why he didn't. He was so afraid that if everything wasn't perfect, you would eat him alive, which is exactly what you did.
Rachel, give Hank a chance to explain here.
Now, Rachel, I did what I had to do.
So did Uncle RJ. You know, everything he did and said to Sheila and me, it was just so that he could come back to you. So that he could have a family again. Now, you raised me to believe that families were so important. How can you tell your brother you never want to see him again?
Look, a lot went down tonight. Maybe we all need to just cool off.
Honey, look what you saw tonight. I mean, all of that, I'm sorry, let's start all over again. Baby, RJ, he's got that act down pat. I mean, he's always so sincere, so sorry. And believe me, I bought into it, and not just once. And every time, I got burned. I mean, he would steal from me. He would lie to our folks. Baby, you can't imagine how much pain he caused your grandmother and your grandfather. Baby, when you burn that much, you learn how to take care of yourself and the people you care about. And there's no way I will ever let RJ hurt you or Sheila. Now, you can understand that, can't you?
Oh, I understand. You're the expert on human nature. You know people so well.
I know my brother.
Yeah, just like you knew Kevin. Just like you were so sure about Ben. Well, Daddy, you were wrong about both of them. And you're wrong about Uncle RJ, too.
Come on, Rachel, you're not listening to me.
There is nothing to listen to anymore. I know what I saw here tonight. And I'm ashamed of it.
Shintani! So was I right about that Chianti?
Oh, you were right. It's great.
Oh, I'm so glad you approve. It's so rare that I have an expert on things Italian rice at my humble tavola.
Well, I'm hardly an expert. I've got a lot to learn.
Not about cooking. I'm telling you, there is only one word for this meal.
Delicioso, I hope.
Magico. Magico pura. Really, the way you whipped it up in just a few minutes, the way you finished it here at the table, I still don't know which was better, the meal or the show you put on making it.
Oh, anybody could have done this, though.
Oh, don't kid yourself. No, you have real talents, and not just in the kitchen. You have a sense, a true sense of style and taste. I mean, look at the way that you're helping me decorate this house. Truly, your instincts are superb.
Thank you. Which reminds me, the ideas you have for redecorating those spare bedrooms, what book did you see that in?
Ah, not a book. No. Actually, what inspired me was a villa outside Seville, owned by the late Conde d'Alba, a man who had exquisite taste and discrimination. His daughter, Magdalena, unfortunately, is now broke. I read recently that she's in Philadelphia trying to unload the villa. But anyway, it has a series of exquisite bedrooms, each with its own separate balcony. I fell in love with them, amongst other things, when I stayed there some time ago. And if anyone can help me reproduce them, it's you.
Well, I sure will give it a try.
May I tell you that one of your talents rises above all of the others? It's what the Italians call compassione. Yes, you sensed that I was in need tonight, and you put aside your obligations, your needs, your life, and you were here for me.
Anyone would have done the same thing.
No, anyone would not have. My daughter did not. No. You gave me a very special gift, and I thank you.
You don't have to thank me.
I do. I always thank people when they give me gifts. Because the gift you have given me is the very precious gift of your friendship. We are friends, aren't we?
Sure. Sure, yeah, we are friends.
And it's taken both of us kind of by surprise, hasn't it?
Well, you're nothing like my other friends.
How so?
I guess I don't have any friends who are quite so sophisticated, I guess.
Yes, I do give that impression, don't I? My sophisticated lifestyle. I'll tell you a secret. It's not the real me.
Oh, it's not?
When you get to know me better, you'll find out that the real me is really quite different. You see, I get the feeling that we're going to get to know each other very, very well.
I hope so.
Why don't we drink to that? To friendship.
Our friendship.
Still no answer at Rachel's?
No. No, she should have been home by now. And I hate the idea of her driving around all worked up like that.
Honey, Rachel's a smart woman. If she wasn't up to driving, then she'd pull over until she calmed down. Maybe that's what happened.
No, I don't think so. And I mean, she's so stubborn. She always like to think she's got everything under control.
I wonder where she inherited that from. Hank, she'll be fine. She just needs time to cool off. I think we all do.
Hey, I'm fine, all right? I've closed the book.
Listen to yourself.
Well, I'm sorry.
Look, RJ showing up here tonight was a shock to all of us, Hank. And Rachel wasn't ready for it. Obviously, none of us were.
But tell me the truth, all right? Do you think I was too hard on RJ tonight?
That's a question I can't answer.
Well, I didn't think there was such a thing.
Well, it's like you said. You know RJ a lot better than anyone. And so if you think tonight was just an act, that he's never going to change, then you're probably right. I mean, he's certainly lied enough to me.
But...
But what?
Come on, Sheila, I know you too well. That sentence wasn't finished. There's a but coming.
I'm not sure it's my place, you know. RJ's a tough subject for you.
Look, baby, come here. I love you. You can say anything to me, anytime, about anyone.
All right. You've told me a lot about RJ, Hank. But the way you looked at him tonight, the tone of your voice, I mean, I can't help thinking there's more to this story than you're letting on.
Who is it?
It's me, Rachel.
Rachel?
I'm sorry to bother you. I won't stay long.
Oh, you're never a bother. You've been crying. Are you okay?
I'll be fine. I just wanted to come by and see you before I went home. I mean, after the way things went tonight.
Well, they went about how I expected.
No, it was wrong. Daddy should have never treated you that way.
It's okay. I'm used to it.
No, it's not okay. I couldn't even stay in the room with him after you left. I've never been so angry at him.
Don't be mad at Hank, Rachel. You gotta look at things from his side. I mean, I've let him down plenty. In a way, I can't blame him for throwing me out. Best thing probably would have been if I never even came to Landview.
No, don't say that. If you didn't come, I would have never met you. It doesn't matter what he says. I'm glad you're in my life.
Hearing that kind of makes tonight worth all the trouble.
Kinda.
Thanks, Rachel.
For what?
For being there. Like real family. I'm sorry I dragged you into the middle of all this. I'm real sorry.
Rebecca?
Oh, pal, I'm so glad it's you. Oh, Marty was here before, and then she said things, and I said things, and it was just awful, and I'm just so glad it's you. Pal, what's wrong?
Maybe you should tell me.
I'd really appreciate if you'd sign this. Since the rape happened here at the hospital, your signatures would mean a lot.
Just show me where to sign. I would love to put that guy away for good this time.
I'm willing to do anything to help you, but do you really think a petition is going to make a difference?
Governor Camden pardoned Todd because people spoke out on his behalf. I think if we have hundreds of people sign this, how can he not listen?
Well, what if he doesn't?
Then I'll try something else. I mean it, Brent. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that Todd Manning is right where he belongs, in prison.
Good.
That's exactly what I'd like to talk to you about, Miss Saybrook.
Mr. Manning, what do you want?
I actually came here thinking I'd talk to someone in administration, but now that I've run into you, I realize you can help me just as much yourself.
Oh, I doubt that.
Look, we both know there's no love lost between us, but I have a problem, and I need your input.
I've got a lot of things I got to do right now.
Believe me, there are many things I'd like to be doing right now myself. I left a lot of work behind in Chicago, but I flew in here today, and I came straight to this hospital because I had no choice. I needed to find something out right away. Is it true, Miss Saybrook? Has Todd raped again?
Well, I hope you're feeling a little bit better.
Oh, I'm feeling lots better, thanks to you.
I had a great time.
So did I. So, you'll be back tomorrow?
Yeah, around 4 o'clock?
After your classes?
Yes.
Good, because I don't want this job to get in the way of your studies.
Don't even worry about it. I have a feeling that once I get into a routine, handling this job and my classes together is not going to be a problem at all.
You sound very confident.
I have to if I'm going to convince my mom it's true. She's coming home from vacation. I don't think she's going to be too thrilled about all this.
Oh, well. We'll worry about that when the time comes.
Right. Besides, my mom may surprise us both.
Yes. Well, good night.
Good night, Dorian.
Joe, you're forgetting your books again.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hai, dimenticato.
Thank you.
Che cosa fai?
Grazie, ciao.
Ciao, buonasera. Actually, I think it's Vicky who's one who's going to be surprised. A delicioso surprise. Oh, well. Que será, será.
I don't understand. What's wrong?
There's some things I need to ask you, Rebecca. Just a few questions, but they're important. And whatever your answers are, I'll accept them. Because you'd never lie to me, right?
Right. What is it?
Did you see Todd earlier this evening?
Yes.
Did you go to his room?
Well, yes, but I...
And once you were there, he gave you his word that he didn't rape that nurse at the hospital. Isn't that right? And once he gave you his word, you told him that you believed him?
Well...
Just answer me.
Yes.
I only have one more question. The other day, when you saw Todd at the student union, did you kiss him? Did you kiss Todd, Rebecca?
The bottom line is the police don't have the evidence they need to arrest Todd yet, so you can relax. You don't need to be hiring your high-power attorneys just yet.
Forget the evidence. What do you think really happened? Do you think he did it?
I know he did it. There is no doubt in my mind that your son raped Alice Henson.
Dad! What are you doing here? What are you talking to her for? What lies is she telling you now?